Welcome to Rome. Well, not quite Rome. It's the port of Rome, Calcavettia. And we've driven a mile from the airport and we're now on board the Queen Victoria, the Cunard boat, one of our favourites. I hope you enjoyed this video. We're going to cover a lot of places and hopefully see what it's like to cruise on Cunard. We sail at 5 o'clock tonight, I believe. Well, for the first time ever, we've forsaken our balcony cabin and gone for an inside. This is not like the inside shown on the Titanic film, where those poor wretches were held down by the rich people when the boat sank. No, this is much more optimistic. This is just on the other side of the corridor. So on the other side of the corridor we have the people who can afford the balconies, and on this side you have the people who actually think the balconies are just a rip-off price. Well, up until now we've been on the other side, but we thought we'd give this side a chance. So it'll be interesting to see at the end of this holiday how we feel about this. You can get a hot tub to yourself here, should you require one. Mind you, it is a hot day anyway, so you might roast. It's not the largest pool, but there's hardly anyone in it. And when you're hot, this is what you need. No shortage of sunbeds here. These large domes contain either radar or satellite dishes stabilised to point to the satellites to enable you to have internet on board.
There we wait when we remember time.
Well, we're about to leave Rome in a few hours. Well, it's not Rome, is it? It's the port of Rome. A lot of tugs around here. We don't need a tug to take us out, but because of the unions, they still use tugs. Welcome to Pisa. Now I know you're going to say that's not the Tower of Pisa, but this is still very impressive. This is where they were baptised, all the village. It's a shame it's overcast, but still no less dramatic. I think you can see the Tower of Pisa if you look very carefully. That weather adds a sort of air of impending doom, like rain. Yeah, every building around here is incredibly impressive. I can't convey that to you probably on video, but it is really amazing. Right, now I'm going to give you a starter for 10. Tell me when you recognise what this building is. Yes, you guessed it. It's the Leaning Tower of Pisa. I don't know whether that comes across as leaning to you at home. But believe me, standing here, it certainly is leaning. One of the classic things about this place is that everybody wants to position themselves as if they're propping up the Leaning Tower. You'll see that in the background on numerous occasions. Somehow that thunder that we're hearing in the background adds to the power and awe of these buildings.
All right, we ready together. We're ready together. Just hold on.
Well, it's certainly better today than it was yesterday in Pisa. We're in Monaco today, and that's probably the first glimpse of the ship, Queen Victoria. It's always good when you can actually park in the port itself. Sometimes, if the port is busy, you have to tender, which is not much fun. Certainly a very attractive boat compared to many of the others that look like hotels on the base of a ship. What a beautiful day. Monte Carlo is a very built-up place because obviously every square foot of land can be sold for an expensive flat. They're even building over roads now, so you go along a road and then suddenly find a totally unnecessary tunnel just to go underneath another block of flats. I hope you can make out the Monte Carlo casino in the centre of the picture there. That's on the other side of the harbour. Easy to get to either by walking or by getting a little boat across. We're heading in the direction of the palace, having just climbed up that hill. I get the impression that Monaco's streets have actually been swept free of anything. You see Menton in the background, and Villefranche, and all those other places. This is where the poor people live. I think they've only got a couple of million to scrape together, and this is where they hang out. Many don't have a car and often have to rely on this sort of form of transport from the past. Always a very impressive view, this one. As you can see, Cunard welcome you back in style. What we particularly like about Cunard is it's not busy. It doesn't really matter what day you choose, you're never going to experience the same sort of bustle that you do on other cruise ships. This is our favourite place to have a nice cup of coffee and a biscuit. We have a view over Monaco harbour and are just waiting for a lovely cup of espresso. Beautiful. What a place.
Where should we go tonight then? Should we
Change around again?
yeah, should we sit those two?
Yeah, so let's change.
We're going to have a change.
Yeah, we change every night. Look at those. Hop on, hop off buses are everywhere. About 27 euros to get around the town. Well, we've walked from the shuttle bus about a couple of 100 yards. This is really where you cross to the Las Ramblas, which is the main shopping street. And we've got the, what do you call it, the harbour on this side over here. This Christopher Columbus statue, which is well known to everybody here, including me. Just off Las Ramblas in one of the squares to the right as you walk up Las Ramblas. Was the little church that we went into. It was more like a cathedral in many countries, but as it is, it just sits amongst many other ordinary properties. Yes, the Gothic quarter of Barcelona is worth the trip. Without any guides and without any map, you just head off into Barcelona and you discover amazing sights. In the Gothic quarter we walked up and look what we discovered. Yes, a Gothic cathedral, I guess it would be. Be the set of a horror movie. One thing to remember is that if you're coming here, it might be worth having long trousers on, because shorts might be frowned on. That could be why I'm not going to get in. I know sometimes how this guy feels. The architecture around Barcelona is pretty amazing. I'd be surprised if this isn't Gaudi. It's very Gaudi-esque.
Die voornamelijk zijn opgericht voornamelijk tijdens de industrialisatie.
This Ramblas, we're going to walk down now. Now this is a Chinese restaurant which you can't fail to be impressed with. Look at that. What architecture. Now that's what I call a dragon. If you're thinking of walking from the boats into town, you should bear in mind you'll be walking over this bridge, which is quite tall, to say the least. You'll be knackered by the time you get to the top of it, let alone across it. Yeah, it's absolutely beautiful, isn't it? I'm going to get you in the picture, love. Oh, look at that. Look at you, beautiful. Oh, it's very warm. We're just off Corsica. Well, we've arrived in Corsica. We've arrived late. Not usual this, but you can actually get off at 10 o'clock and go and explore the town, even at this late stage, which is something unusual for us. There are so many places to eat around this area and to have a nice cup of tea or a drink. Nobody's around. Morning, everyone. Yes, it's morning. We're still in Corsica, and as you can see, it's a beautiful day again. The ship is looking pretty spectacular too. That's the creaking of the gangway as it rubs against the dock. It's beautiful by night and it looks stunning by day. They ensure that the Queen Victoria is kept in good condition. It's one of the nicest and well maintained boats we've seen for a long time. You know, I reckon that even I, who has never caught a fish in my life, could probably just about manage it.
There's a bit of bread down there.
Oh, that's why I was attracted
that's
them,
why
is
they
it?
all come up here.
Oh, that looks like my idea of fishing then. Throw a bit of bread in and then catch a whole meal. Corsica seems like the south of France in many ways. It's a real fishing port. Not often you see a moat and a goat at the same time. Discovered the beach. Well, discovered part of the beach. Well, this is only around the corner on the port, about 100 yards walk. Who needs to pay for an offshore excursion?
Tell me it's warm.
No.
We're just about to have a nice cup of coffee and we're sitting opposite the bay. Hopefully from this end of the bay you can get a better picture of what the town looks like. You can walk all the way around that port wall. You don't need any more honey, Lisa says.
I don't think it's
Our bus driver has just dropped us off. Here for Rome on your own. Basically that just means a coach trip into Rome. We've just been dropped off and we haven't got a clue where we are. This looks pretty spectacular. This is the Forum in Rome.
That's the Palatine Hill. This is the Capitol Hill. Down there is the Aventine Hill. These are 3 of the 7 hills of Rome. And this, of course, were temples with columns. All the debate.
Yeah, the Forum is pretty amazing. The Colosseum Road. Gladiators. Tourists. A lot of tourists. Those are not slaves that you're looking at. Those are ticket hunters waiting in line. My tip would be this: get a tour because they go in first. Now this back street restaurant just off the main road that goes from the museum is fantastic. Very nice indeed. I'm looking forward to that. And Lisa is so enamoured with hers that she's taking multiple pictures. That would not be good. The Trevi Fountain, and as always, the people who look after historical monuments seem to think they have an age to actually do anything. As you may notice, there's nobody working on it, and yet this is a major attraction that no one can see. No water on the Trevi Fountain. Well done. Too many obelisks, and here we have yet another obelisk. Just when you were wondering what other obelisk he was talking about, here's another obelisk. This is the Pantheon. Now I find this to be the most amazing building in Rome, because this is almost 2,000 years old, and when you go inside, it's just like a room that was left 2,000 years ago. To think this is 2,000 years old is unbelievable. Where it's rumoured they used to have chariot races around the square. Beautiful. I think it's a bit overcast at the moment. Full of tourists, of course. But if you've never seen it, well worth seeing. I have to wonder what kind of tourist organisation runs a country like this, which allows an advert to be stuck on the side of that. I believe the Pope used to use this when times were getting rough. It's got an underground passage that goes across the river as well.
You're going inside the Vatican?
Just passing Stromboli. Now where are we, Lisa?
We're at the Veranda restaurant tonight.
This is a very posh restaurant, isn't it? Within the boat itself. Our tables has been dressed with beautiful plates. We've already got some rolls on the go, and this is looking lovely.
I'm sorry.
We have got some beautiful bread here. I just had one which is nice and cheesy.
Cheesy one.
Core cheesy.
How pretty that is.
It's very pretty. One of the prettiest cheese rolls I've ever seen. And Lisa has one of the largest, I don't know, wine glasses.
250 ml.
250 ml, blimey. What can you say? Not sure what these are. That's how sophisticated this restaurant is. There are things in it we don't even understand or know about. I don't know whether you can see out there, but there is the sea out there. We are by the window. Imagine that, watching the sea go by as you indulge in the most luxurious of food.
Oh, fine.
You have smoked salmon and cured salmon.
Yep.
You have smoked trout here. Okay.
Is that all for you, Lisa?
A selection of each.
A selection of it. It's not all for you there.
Yeah, whenever.
Just tell me when to smile.
You're on video, so
So you've got to smile all the
yeah,
time.
you can smile all the time, please. You sure you don't want two, Liz?
One smile.
Crab legs. 1, 2, 7 or 19.
I'll have two if I'll have two if that's
I'll speak with the captain. Right, lemon.
Wow,
it's going to be the size of a main course. So
Some capers maybe?
no.
Now, can I offer you some horseradish, capers, Mary Rose, American, and French dressing?
French dressing, I
C'est flammé?
Wow, this is Lisa's steak here. It's quite dramatic. Oh, flambéed. So I can do this then. So what's that we got there? Then you got your lobster. I feel like I'm watching a cooking program. Let's go into flames then. Oh my goodness me. Wow, that's quite dramatic, isn't it? Yes. I hope he knows what he's doing.
very much. It looks lovely. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Yes, thank you. That would be lovely. So we can't decide.
Yes. Worked out a technique whereby she can have one of everything just by saying that she can't decide. It is a very feeble excuse.
It's a good ploy.
I don't believe it. You could decide, but you've decided to have a whole selection.
I'll do a photo, shall I?
Yes. This is a separate restaurant which you pay for, which may seem strange when you actually get fantastic food, but this is a different class. Maybe I'm getting old, but what would make you do that to a nice ship? We have Lisa, and we have Corfu in the background. The Holland American line is actually very similar to Cunard. You can probably detect that anyway. Yet another one owned by the Carnival Group. Stupendous day in Corfu today. Heading for Corfu town, which as you can see is over there. A relatively short walk if you're fit, miles if you're not. We've taken 15 minutes to walk from the terminal entrance, where you get the shuttle buses, to where they drop you off. Now they were going to charge us, for two people, $24 return. I would say that was a rip-off if you can walk. Walking along the harbour front gives you opportunities to see lots of beautiful views of the bay. We're in Corfu town now, and we're just about to head up through the streets. Always lots of places to have a nice cup of coffee and sit out in the sunshine. We just walked down that little lane, very busy. We walked to the cricket pitch in Corfu town, and we're sitting down at a nice restaurant where we had a coffee and ice cream before. It cost us €4 to come and visit this castle. Well, it's a lot smaller than the original Parthenon, but I suppose it's in one piece, which is, I suppose, something more than what the other one is. Lisa wants to climb up there. I'm sure she was a mountain goat in years gone by.
You know when they did those black and white to stand still.
Carrying the Queen, the Duke of Edinburgh used to play cricket here, the only cricket game around in Corfu. Well, we finally made it back. Corfu town is over there, although it seems like nothing. It takes half an hour actually to get from one side to the other. That's where we've been walking today, up that castle, up that fort, and had a fantastic view. Welcome everybody to a sunny day in Corsica. Now this is a first for us. We've never seen a sunny day in Corsica. We've parked the boat over there and we've been attended in. No problem with that. That's where Lisa wants to walk to the top of the hill, up that little path. The Holland America ship beat us to the dock. and that's why we're tendering today. Looks like those birds know where to get a drink. So we've never seen it with the sunshine, so this is quite a revelation for us. After crossing through the wall of the little town, we enter a beautiful place to eat out and enjoy an ice cream or two. The climb to the peak is quite hard, it takes about half an hour to 40 minutes. The steps are rickety and there's very little in the way of fencing. But I am told by my wife that it's well worth the trip. I'm not sure why that's chiming now, seeing as it's gone past 11. The whole inner town is surrounded by those walls, and you go through that gate at the bottom there. I'm never one to be a fan of these pathetic attempts to add something to what is already a beautiful scene. What idiot decided to place a paper mache shark in the middle of that, I wonder. So that's the Queen Victoria at anchor, and the sun is beating down on me.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are now approaching the ship. We remind you that you must remain seated until you are asked to disembark. Again, we will ask guests.
This is Couture from the back of the boat. Quite some view. Here is the swimming pool in the middle of the ship. There are so many places to sunbathe should you need to, but I doubt you'll have any problems finding a sunbed ever. Judging by many people on the Cunard boats, I think that exercise is an anathema to them, but this is available should they suddenly decide to take it up. I think this is for something called deck quoits or something like that. I'm sure it's more popular when we're at sea. like one of those rib boats is coming fast towards us. I've been on one of those in the fjords and I can thoroughly recommend it for a good laugh. Some of the customers with inside cabins make their way back to the boat, while the shuttle boat delivers everyone else. I'm not sure what this is, but it arrived underneath a, what would you describe it as? A glass dome. And then when the glass dome was lifted, a whole load of smoke came out because it had been individually smoked. So this has got individually smoked raw beef. It's just, well, what have you just decided to do, please?
Oh, I'm pushing the boat out and having an Irish coffee instead of a normal coffee.
Excellent. I'm sure that'll be lovely, won't it?
Yes, I think it will be lovely, yes. I'm going to have desserts.
So that's where the veranda restaurant is, and I can recommend it. It's Michelin star quality food. A bit lost on me, but it really is fantastic. Now, what have you decided to do for the first time on this cruise?
Had a cookie.
A cookie?
Late night cookie.
A late night cookie. As you can tell, there's nobody around, so no one will see you eating the late night cookie.
It's on film now.
It's on film. What time is it now? The late night cookie.
11:30.
11:30, eh? Look at that. I'm one of the few people up here enjoying a late night feast. I'm having cheese and biscuits. I'll ignore the fact that I had a little bit of a pizza slice. We got off our boat. It's a bit overcast today as we turn up, but it's an interesting journey. More choppy than I've ever experienced it before, but still great fun. Yeah, it's overcast, but it doesn't stop the tourists. If you think you're going to be alone in Venice, think again. You're going to be part of one of the busiest street scenes of all time. Yeah, it's kind of crazy here. And when I pan over to the right hand side, you will see we're near the Bridge of Sighs, and this is what you can expect. Madness. I get a lot of DHL deliveries, but they never come by this method. Forget that Venice is about a working city. It's not just about the pretty pictures. So we have DHL and we have some deliveries for hotels. Bridge that's opposite the Bridge of Sighs. Now I often wonder if the Bridge of Sighs was because it actually could hear the sighs of people being crushed trying to get over this bridge. This is like a motorway with gondolas. Don't know how I managed this, but we managed to get through to actually seeing the bridge of sighs. It's where the condemned man took his last look at life before having himself put to death. That's beginning to look like a gondola traffic jam. Well, we're in St. Mark's Square. Very busy, of course. But then again, this is Venice. Everywhere's busy. The Doge's Palace is very popular. Massive queues to get into that. A lone gondolier in a very quiet canal. View from one side of the Rialto Bridge. I can't show you it all because there's scaffolding everywhere. A lot of work going on. Really exciting and vibrant in Venice. Everything is just alive. They look very nice, don't they? The Vaporato. Well, it probably isn't pronounced like that, but it's like a bus that goes along the canals. I once bought a watch which only had one hand. I sold it though. Didn't find it a great deal of use. It's by the Rialto Bridge. It looks like we've gone back in time. That's the amazing thing about Venice. You just walk around the streets and you just come across things which anywhere else have been major tourist attractions. About 30 euros for a couple of coffees and orchestra, of course, but service, of course, isn't included. Then here's the place to spend your money. Everyone should do it once in their lifetime, just to have a laugh at the bill when they print it down.